Hi guys, my name is Junhao Chen, and today I want to talk about Alicia Garza, the woman who co-founded Black Lives Matter movement. Before I begin talking about her, so I want to start telling you guys a little bit of the history of how the movement began. So it all started on February 26, 2012, when Trayvon Martin, an African American teen walking home from a trip to a convenience store, is fatally shot by George Zimmerman, a neighborhood watch volunteer patrolling the townhouse community of the retreat at Twin Lakes in Sanford, Florida. Zimmerman later claimed to have shot the unarmed 17-year-old out of self-defense during a physical altercation. Days later, Zimmerman was acquitted of charges. The shooting sparked Alicia Garza's comment on the shooting. She wrote, "Black people, I love you, I love us, our lives matter." Later, that comment turned into a hashtag which became a rallying cry for one of the most recognizable social movements of this generation. On August 9, 2014, police officer Darren Wilson shoots and kills Michael Brown, an unarmed black teenager in Ferguson, Missouri, a suburb of St. Louis. Protests and riots ensued in Ferguson and soon spread across the country. The shooting galvanized Black Lives Matter to become a national organization. Now, on May 25th, 2020, George Floyd, a black 46-year-old black man, was murdered in Minneapolis, Minnesota, United States, while being arrested on suspicion of using a counterfeit $20 bill with the death of George Floyd. Black Lives Matter protests have erupted around the world, and words themselves are painted in massive yellow letters on the street leading up to the White House. Nearly 7 years ago, Alicia Garza wrote Black Lives Matter in a Facebook post in protest against social injustices. Right now, her protest has united people from around the world to become a much stronger voice that is impossible to be ignored. Black Lives Matter has become such an important social movement because it gathers voices around the world to speak up against the injustices against the people of colors. The Black Lives Matter movement will speak up immediately if there is any injustices against people of color, and it will not stop until justice is served. Our Black Lives Matter movement have given the criminal justice system a lot of pressure, and that pressure actually really forces the government to really look into the injustices against black people, and it really, if you look at the past, it would be very unlikely without Black Lives Matter. It would be very likely that there are brutality, the same kind of brutality happening against people of color, and the the perpetrator will be very likely to be acquitted of charges. Like, the Black Lives Matter movement not only bring Americans' attention on the injustices, but people all around the world. It unites people, and And when there is really any injustices happening, the Black Lives Matter will act as a voice to make sure um, their voices are heard, and they want to make sure the justices are served, and it will actually happen, and then it made a great impact. For example, on the issue of George Floyd, without the pressure that Black Lives Matter movement has given to the government, it would be very unlikely to for the justice of George Floyd to happen, or it would be very likely that there will be another case that the perpetrator will be acquitted of charges again. So here I want to say that Alicia Garza started this movement, and then it gave people of color hopes, to say like it's the movement makes sure that there are justices happening to everyone, including people of color. And this is what I think Alicia Garza is why she co-founded the Black Lives Matter movement, and I do believe that the movement actually still has a strong effect on giving pressure to the government, to it really make sure that the government is doing its job to provide its citizens an equal that no, they will make sure the Black Lives Matter movement will make sure the government is doing its job to make sure that no one is beyond law, and even and despite no matter what skin color the person has, it's not matter. And I think this is why the Black Lives Matter is such an important force. Hold on.